The holidays start here at Kroger with a variety of options to celebrate traditions old and new. You could do a classic herb-roasted turkey or spice it up and make turkey tacos. Serve up a go-to shrimp cocktail or use Simple Truth wild-caught shrimp for your first Cajun risotto. Make creamy mac and cheese or a spinach artichoke fondue from our selection of Murray's cheese. No matter how you shop, Kroger has all the freshest ingredients to embrace all your holiday traditions. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Welcome to the Instagram Stories. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. On Monday, we do something I invented called Mosseri Monday, where we consider what head of Instagram, Adam Mosseri, talked about on his Ask Me Anything the previous Friday. And actually, he dropped a job hint for me. I'm going to get to that. First, let's answer, why do they keep changing so many things in the Instagram world?
We changed a lot last year because the biggest risk is that the world changes around us and that we become irrelevant. But this year is actually much more about delivering on those commitments and simplifying Instagram. So probably see a lot less change this year.
I guess that makes sense because there's not that much more they can add to the app without it becoming completely overblown. Just a thought. Next question. Why did you turn off post sharing to stories? Great question. That isn't actually a thing that's happened yet, but here's the answer.
We haven't turned these off yet. We are just testing it because we are hearing that more and more people are seeing reshares in stories and they want to see original content, particularly from their friends. So it's just a test.
I do think that sharing from feed to stories has become kind of the retweeting of the Instagram world. So what he says makes sense. I see resharing to your story as the best way to get people to see what is in your feed that they're never going to see otherwise. But there are times when you want to share other people's content so your friends can see it. Next question. What can Instagram learn from Clubhouse and Twitter Spaces? If you're not familiar, Clubhouse is like an audio conferencing app where you can go into rooms and listen to conversations from people like Elon Musk, and then you can create your own rooms where people can come and join. It's kind of like going to a conference and going to a big keynote or a much smaller room where you're on the stage. Twitter Spaces is Twitter's equivalent of that.
Clubhouse is great. I think it's a good reminder that audio is really convenient, that it's really compelling to feel like you're there with other people, that tools for moderation are really valuable, that people want to connect with creators. There's a lot to learn.
The last question is the most applicable one to me that I think I've ever seen. If you don't know, because I don't really talk about it much, I am a product manager. What a product manager does is typically interface between the account manager or the client and the engineering team to make sure that whatever product features need to be created or enabled or turned on or whatever are done in a timely manner and in a way that the client or the end user or other stakeholder wants. That's the best description I can give for the product manager role. The question, advice for the first 30 days for a new product manager. Here's the answer.
If you're a new PM, it depends probably where you work, but at least at the companies I've worked at, I think the most important thing is to be a sponge and learn, and then to try and find some ways where you can create some value quickly, even though you might not know what you're doing yet. So get some points on the board.
I agree with that sentiment. Since I'm on my second role as a product manager, I would say that in the first 30 days, that is absolutely critical. I'm just going to say on the record, in case you haven't heard me say this before, that my long-term goal is to get a job at Instagram in a product manager role or at a company similar to Instagram that are creating new things, adding features to a product that people are heavily invested in. And there's a huge community of people who care about that product and each individual feature that gets added. If you know someone at Instagram or a similar product that you think I might be a good fit for, send me a DM at Daniel Hill Media. That's it for today's show. Come back tomorrow for more Instagram feature, news, tips, tricks, strategy, and much more.